I hope you schedule an appointment to watch NBC4 tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for another installment of our continuing series, The Autism Puzzle. As a preview of the special, we have several people on daytime today with information on autism regarding services, research, and lobbying efforts, all to help families dealing with autism. And the first to join me is Denise Sawan Caruso, president of the Autism Society of Ohio. Nice to see you here, Denise.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
What is the Autism Society of Ohio for people who aren't familiar with what your organization does?
Well, we are one of the chapters of the Autism Society of America, now called the Autism Society. And they have many chapters around the country. We are the statewide chapter in the state of Ohio. There are 8 other chapters in some of our major cities around the state. So we all work collaboratively with the National Autism Society.
And what can you do to help families who suddenly find that they are dealing with a child with autism?
Well, we have a number of things that we actually do in the state. We have legislative support and advocacy, which really helps to be representing the voice of autism statewide. We also have references and resources that they can obtain from our website. We do presentations around the state on autism, what types of state mandates are occurring and what we're participating in. So any family who gets a diagnosis or any individual with autism could contact us at our website and get a lot of information.
And we will have all that information at the end of this show and the end of this segment, actually. But you are a speech pathologist. You have worked with autism for over 30 years.
Yes.
What have you seen changes?
Well, we've seen a much larger increase in the population or prevalence of individuals with autism. Originally, it was 2 to 3 per 10,000 population, and now it's anywhere, figures recorded from 1 to 150 to 1 to 100 individuals diagnosed with autism. So we have a huge increase. With that increase, we obviously have had an increase in resources, programs, information. And the internet, of course, has really opened up the world of autism. Sometimes really good information and sometimes not such good information. So,
and which is why you are so important, because you really do have the most up-to-date and reliable information for these folks, so they can start their search with you.
And since we're an advocacy, information, and referral, we can really help to guide families and individuals with autism in the right direction.
Now, speaking of advocacy, I know you work at the State House a lot with lawmakers, and one of the things you're working on now is something for insurance. What do you call it, insurance parity?
Insurance parity is certainly looking at getting insurance coverage for individuals diagnosed with autism.
Which I think people may be surprised to know that's not offered.
No, it is not. And, you know, before it was offered specifically for like a language issue or a motor issue, a speech issue. But now we're trying to get services for anybody with autism regardless of what their needs are. But we also do other things. We've also helped with the Early Screening Project, which is helping to guide physicians into identifying children earlier with autism. And we also do some special education.
Do you think it's just being identified more, Denise, or are we really seeing more cases of autism? Or both?
I think both. I think we're seeing better identification, we're more accurate at our identification, and I think we are seeing an increase.
And speaking of identification, that is another thing that you have worked for, is working with physicians in their offices to identify autism earlier.
Yes, that's our Early Screening Project. And so it's actually through the Ohio chapter of the American Pediatrics Academy, so that's been really exciting.
And has it been working?
Well, we're in a pilot right now. So as soon as the pilot is completed, we'll be able to tell how much more successful we are in the accurate early diagnosis.
And how can people help? You got something in your lap there.
Yes, I do. I'm holding. This is our, we have several different ways that
Put it in front of you so we can get a good shot of it. There you go.
There you go. This is our autism license plate. $25 of every license plate sold goes directly to the Autism Society of Ohio. We also have I think they call it the Plus card at Kroger, and there's a percentage of your purchased materials that you buy there goes to us. You also can donate through United Way, the statewide charitable campaign, or directly to Autism Society of Ohio.
And then that goes back to you and what you do with that money. Give me an example.
Well, that helps us with supporting the organization and our executive director. Any materials, supplies, anything else that we send out, any of our, we go to a lot of state, regional, and local workshops and conferences so we can get information out. So it helps us to have a working budget to help continue to support individuals.
And considering you started as a grassroots organization and you said you're expanding, this helps in all that expansion.
Tremendous, tremendous.
Denise, it is a pleasure to meet you.
You too, Gail.